Welcome to the Picks from the Yard podcast. I'm your host, Wayne Salvatore. Just a humble caddy trying to scratch out winners every week for you guys, along with my friends, family, even acquaintances are welcome as long as they provide winners. Now that they've gone and legalized gambling here in Jersey, we're going to provide you with the hot selections every week. Picks from the Yard, week 14 of the NFL. The end is in sight. We're approaching the we're coming around the final bend here, and it's going to be an exciting finish to the season. It's still a lot up for grabs, and there's a lot going on as always. I'd like to welcome my guest this week, my brother, Richard the Math Whisperer Salvatore.
It's great to be back. I believe we finally had a winning week as a team.
I didn't want to brag about it.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about that later. Great week coming up. A couple of really big matchups in the NFL, and you got the conference championship games in college. Great weekend of football, and a lot of good matchups. A lot of opportunities, I think.
A lot of great games Saturday and Sunday this week. Jim Dodge, comedian, bartender, Eagles fan. Anything else should tack onto that resume there?
You should tack on the fact that I was 2-1 the last time I was here,
That's
solely by using my gut. And for all my fans out there, I'm going to stick with the method that had me a winning record, and I will go at least 2-1, but most likely 3-0.
But you took some notes this week, so I don't know.
I see notes. I see a note card.
I took notes. I took some notes, okay, but mainly by the gut.
Are those notes for picking or notes for comedy? What is that? Are those remarks or?
No one ever uses notes in comedy. This is for picking.
Okay.
And I'd like to welcome an old friend of ours, Chris Halleron, a former bartender and currently the editor-in-chief of a great online publication, H Mag. It's all things Hoboken. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much for having me. It's good to be, in a room where there's no beer, and you guys are here.
He was smart enough.
This might be a first for us.
Yeah, it's first time in decades where we've all been in the same room without any drinks.
You got out of the racket a while ago. Lucky,
I did.
Lucky.
Yeah, I hung up the apron, and it's for the greater good. And I'm happy you're doing what I'm doing now.
Well, thanks for coming on out. Hopefully, you bring us a little bit of luck. Packers fan, yeah.
Go Pack, go, baby!
All right, nice. Let's discuss our big week last week. 7-5. That's right, winning week finally. Nothing too crazy, but in the black. Overall, 59-96. I had to squeeze that in there. We'll just move on. I went 3-0. Apparently, I can only go 0-3 or 3-0. Won on Auburn in an awesome game. For those of you that got to tune in, it was a wild one. They knocked Alabama out of the playoff. Made a lot of people happy. New Orleans won on Thanksgiving. It was a wild finish there, and San Fran covered in another. That was actually all three of those games were pretty good games, but they managed to pull out three wins for me. Richard went 1-2. Oklahoma State was a loser. They were covering for a little while, but it kind of fell apart in the end. New England, that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean they we've said it a number of times. They look done. I don't believe it yet, but they did not look good, and Brady doesn't look good.
Brady looks like aggravated. He's yelling
great.
on the sideline.
It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. Yeah,
I was bartending. The whole bar seems to enjoy it to see him. Mr. Smug.
It was actually great with Brady and Saban, just to see Saban flail on the sidelines and throw his little headset around like a 12-year-old. It's always those are the two you always like to see lose.
Yeah.
Saban and Brady, different levels.
Makes a lot of people happy. And Denver, outright winner. And that was another wild one. It was a crazy pass interference at the end. Brock Landers, 2-1, riding all the dogs. It was two of them were outright winners. Miami, who did they beat? Who did they play last week?
Well, moving on.
That's right, exactly. Who was that?
Moving on. Great call with him with Cincy.
The Dolphins. Oh yeah. Oh wait, who did Cincy beat?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. He beat the Jets and the Eagles.
Beat the Jets.
I don't want that
was
kid.
worse.
I don't want him ever on the podcast.
Smart move
again.
by Brock in his Patriots sweatshirt,
Brock.
calling the Eagles and Jets losses, and then Oakland was a loser. They're slipping off. And Chris went 1-2. Texas A&M was a loser. Washington State was a loser. But the good old State University of New Jersey, RU, the under in the Penn State-Rutgers game came in for him. That was a winner.
I feel like Chris got screwed with the LSU situation where they knocked LSU down to 2 in the college football playoff rankings for no good reason, and I think they came out and said, no, we're not number 2, and they basically crushed Texas A&M.
Yeah, they gave him that extra motivation, so he got a little hosed on that one. The parlay was very close, 0-13 this year, but Denver was a winner, Auburn was a winner, and San Fran lost on a 48-yard field goal in the rain in a very close game.
It was right there.
You should have put Miami or Cincy in. That would have juiced it up all
Miami
the way.
would have made it pretty sweet. I should have known those Eagles. But we'll get it back this week. We turned it around a little bit, so hopefully we'll improve on our winning tradition, albeit 1 week tradition. And we're going to close out the season strong, I feel it. Big story this week. It finally happened pretty quickly. We're about a year into most of the states legalizing gambling, maybe a little bit longer. And a football player got caught betting on, I believe he was against his own team, Josh Shaw on the Arizona Cardinals. I think he was on injured reserve, but the NFL is really, really not on board with it. That was the big fight to get it legalized. So I'm not saying they were happy about this, but I'm sure once they heard it, they were like ready to just, they want to stay on top of this because they're not happy about all the gambling.
And I'm sure he's not the only one doing it, but he's probably the only one who put his occupation.
This is the best.
Unbelievable.
They caught him because he listed on his Caesars, when he applied at Caesars, he listed professional football player as his occupation on his application.
Not just football player, but he had to specify. Just in case there's any ambiguity, I'm a paid professional football player.
What kind of moron does that? I mean, what is he thinking?
Put
like he
something
thinks he's
shady
allowed
down,
to do
like
that?
bartender or caddy. I mean, it's untraceable. I don't know, why did you have
But then he doubled down, right, by betting on his team?
I think
or
he bet
against his team.
His team.
He bet against his
which
team.
is even worse. That's the anti-Pete Rose, right? Like,
brutal.
At least Rose had the dignity to bet on his own team, I believe. But
the NFL came down pretty hard on him, though.
I think they want to make an example of him, and and the fact that he was on injured reserve and he's not a big name. I think the NFL had a good opportunity to really come down hard on him, and they did, because this would be the worst thing for the NFL if they find out players are betting, especially against their team.
Yes,
they don't want any part of that.
Where can he work now? Anywhere. Oh, you're the guy that
yeah, exactly.
Go to Enterprise Rental. Like, who's not looking up and be? Oh, you're the guy who.
Let me just quick Google. Oh, I see you were a former professional football player.
Is he gonna have to update his application, his online gambling account when the NFL kicks him out?
No, change his name.
Former professional football player. It's amazing, these guys. They don't know anybody to do stuff for. They have
you just have to have a friend do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
come on.
It's
someone has a DraftKings account out there.
See, once you make it legal, though, you get dumber people involved.
Oh, yeah,
you had to be savvy back in the day. You had to have someone do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're like, well, it's legal, so I can just go. No, not really. No, not all of us.
That's the one time you should lie on your application. You should.
It's like when they took smoking out of bars, it kind of kept certain people out of bars, and then once they got rid of smoking, people show up at bars with their kids and their babies and stuff, and you're like, actually, no, this isn't really for you right now. There should be a layer of common sense in between.
No, that would open the door. Yeah, it opened the doors for all the kids to hang out at the bar.
Yeah, and this kid just used his own name.
Here
we are. So.
I wonder what college he went to. I didn't even look that up. I'm curious to see what.
I think
what
Rutgers.
School he gave him a degree.
Yeah, they refunded his donation probably.
The other big story was a coach finally got fired, and it wasn't Jason Garrett. It was Riverboat Ron. Carolina cut him loose after a disappointing couple of seasons. It was a pretty wild collapse. I believe, if my memory serves me, they were off to a great start last year, I think, and
both
a year and a half
2 years,
yeah,
very good.
Within basically a little over a year, done, fired, gone, moving on.
It felt like it came a little bit out of nowhere just because his name wasn't being floated as being in any trouble. But when you think of it, they made Jerry Richardson sell the team, and they have this new guy in his name's David Tepper. He's a big hedge fund guy who really wanted to make the team his own. And I think the fact that they were struggling, combined with losing to the Redskins when they were beating that team, I think it's right.
Yeah.
That's such an embarrassing loss.
That's so weird. I've
had it.
I've never met a hedge fund guy with an ego, so that's weird that he would try to make the team his right off the back. Yeah. I don't think Rivera's going to have a problem getting another job, though. And to be fair, do we talk about any other coaches except Jason Garrett? You know what I mean? It takes up so much airspace because you know he's going to go at the end of the season, Garrett. There's no way. But this one shocked me, but I think he's going to find work really quick. So I'm not shedding any tears for Mr. Rivera.
He's definitely better than quite a few coaches who are currently employed.
A bunch of them, and you see so many coaches getting fired year after year. I'm right, yeah. and maybe Shermer, and maybe the guy on Cleveland, and you can just go down.
The guy in Cleveland is my
begging
favorite.
for it. Absolutely begging for
That's
it.
another story we can throw in there.
What's keeping that guy in there?
What T-shirt did he wear?
Pittsburgh started it. Oh my God!
What is the upside of that? Do you think it's like clever and people are going to laugh at you?
But then he threw his daughter under the bus. Oh, my daughter wanted me to wear it. Oh, so you listened to her this time? You know what I mean?
I got to put this on. It's so clever and funny.
So
like people
dumb.
are gonna. It's unbelievable.
Horrible optics.
He's gonna be. He will be gone.
He'll be gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be. There'll be a number of these firings coming up, but usually wait till the end of the year to hear about that. And just quickly, the contest has ended. We had no winners in week 2. A total of 4 winners. Went 3-0. Just to show you how tough it is. I'm not gonna tell you how many people entered, but we only had 4.
There was a lot. There was a lot that entered. Many people entered.
Many people entered the first week, and it's not easy. It's not. I mean, come on. It shows people. It's not. You can't just go 3-0. It's not.
On a side note, Rick Collins entered his own contest last week, which I'm not sure what.
That's not the saddest thing he's ever done.
He went 2-1,
and he went 2-1.
But his loss was on San Diego, which was very satisfying to me because he won against my pick.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Good. Serves him right.
So I guess he was planning if he went 3-0 to buy himself. I don't understand the logic behind that.
Yeah, there's no logic. Listen to his picks. Come on.
It was great.
Rolling the dice.
But we're gonna coming up. We're figuring out a date. We're still hammering out our very busy schedules to figure out a night we all have off, and we'll be coming up with a date and a location for everybody to meet up for drinks. All right. Without further ado, let's jump right into the picks this week. I'll get the ball rolling with Baylor +8. They're playing Oklahoma. It's the Big 12 championship game. This is a rematch. I took Baylor last time. Nothing sweeter than a repeater. They covered last time. They were crushing them. It was a wild game. Oklahoma came back, shut them out in the second half, and I just, I guess this game could go either way, but I think Baylor was able to handle them pretty well for half a game, and I'm sure they're really pissed off about what happened last time, so they'll be out for blood, and both teams, is a huge game for the playoff. I mean, both teams, Baylor has a shot to get in too, so I'll take Baylor and the 8 points here.
They both have a real shot to get in, and I agree. Baylor, was solid in that game, and they covered, and they were winning that game the whole way. So I do like this pick. For my first pick, I'm also going to pick a college game. I'm going to take Oregon. They're getting 6.5 against Utah. This is a situation where about a month ago, Oregon was considered the better team. They had that one bad loss against Arizona State and Herm Edwards. And Utah's been beaten up on bad teams, and all of a sudden it's completely changed. And Utah's a 6.5-point favorite on a neutral field. I don't buy it. And the Pac-12, they always kind of eat their own. They always beat each other up and basically screw each other out of getting into the playoff. And I could see it happening again. And I think Oregon is not getting in. They want to knock Utah off. I would say sprinkle a little bit on the money line, but they're getting 6.5. I like it.
All right, as I mentioned, Tennessee is the team of Rick Collins, the most annoying human being. Just so you would know this, the Eagles lost, obviously, and the Titans won. I received 23 texts, okay, like insulting texts, just to rub it in. But I'm telling you, his team actually looked good. I hate to admit it. So they're going up against Oakland, the Titans, and Oakland laid down against the Jets, 34-3. They lost last week to KC, and when they were playing the Jets, they had a chance to really make a run for the division.
The season's collapsed.
And then KC, they lose 40-9. I just think the starch is all out of them. And
these are two teams moving in quite the opposite direction.
Opposite directions. And Tennessee is a game out from the Texans. So if you can't get fired up for this, it's 3 points. I think they should. I know it's in Oakland, whatever, and Chucky's savvy, whatever. But I'm taking Tennessee with. I don't like doing it, but they are going to. I feel they're going to win by at least 3.
Well, as a lifelong Packers fan, I'm going to make a bold prediction and take the Packers this weekend.
You picked a good week to come on, actually.
Yeah,
a pretty easy game. I don't know if it was a
they have a pretty easy stretch. They were certainly exposed against the Niners, but hopefully they got a little introspective. They did okay against the Giants in some fun weather the other day. I think their offense really needs to gel, and playing against the Skins at Lambeau in December, I think they have an opportunity to kind of show what they're capable of doing and prove that they should be in the conversation for the playoffs. And they're doing well in the division. They should do all right, but I'm nervous about that next stage, and this is where they really have to do some work. And
Washington's a good team to get some work done on.
Yeah, typically. They should read the scouting report, unlike Carolina, and be ready for them. So hopefully the Packers will take them.
All right, Ravens fans, I'm jumping on board. I've been kind of like bitching about this team for a while because nobody can hit this guy. I mean, you can't. I've never seen this before. Nobody can stop this guy. That's what they're saying. All right, so I'm gonna find out this week because I'm loading up on Baltimore. They're going into Buffalo. I'm still Buffalo. I mean, they're playing great. They're actually a game out of. I mean, they can take the division actually from the Patriots the way things are going. But Baltimore just seems unstoppable. So let's see if they can handle Jinxie getting on board here. Give me the Ravens -5.5.
This is their toughest test yet, the fact that you're backing them. I will say that. And
right.
Buffalo looked good. I mean, Thanksgiving, that quarterback has been unbelievable, the improvement the last
he
few
keeps getting
games.
better
and I'm like, is he going to be the best one out of that group that came up? You don't know, but he's been looking
Sammy
solid.
Boy, calm yourself.
All right, for my second pick, I'm taking Indianapolis. They're getting 3 points against Tampa Bay. The Indy still has a shot at the wild card. They're 6-6. They're in desperation mode. And Tampa Bay, I know they came up big last week, but this year as a favorite, they're 1-3 against the spread. I still don't believe in Winston. He's very careless with the ball. I like betting against them when they're a favorite just because he'll find a way to give away games. So I like Indy as an underdog. I like their coach, and I think they're in a situation where they need to win. So take Indy in the 3 points.
Tampa Bay being favorite in any game makes seems a little. I love this pick.
Well, every week I'm asking myself, who's the dum-dum that's going to say the Patriots are done? This week, that dum-dum is me. They are done. That is it. Did you watch the game Sunday night?
As long as you say it first, we can all agree with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Who done? Whatever. Listen, they looked terrible and old, and Brady looked more flummoxed than I've ever seen him.
He's yelling at the receivers for not running their routes.
It was just uncharacteristic, and he's always had talent that he does not have this year. And I know he's frustrated. What's he have, a year or two more left? So I'll probably be eating my words, but I'm going to say that they're the only thing that scares me is Andy Reid. I'm so battle-scarred from all those years where he just falls apart at crucial times. But I'm hoping this is the time that he turns it around and finally puts to rest
terrible
the Patriots.
last week. Terrible.
Unprepared, which is unbelievable.
And they don't have anybody. That's the thing, because people are saying, well, it's like if you watch ESPN, they just refuse to admit it because, well, you still got Brady, you still got Belichick. So what does that mean? Forever and ever? Like nobody wants to pull the plug on this, but
absolutely,
they looked so bad last week.
Everything you guys are saying makes sense, but I just feel like it's like Lucy and Charlie Brown with the football.
Get out of
Every
here.
time you think they're done, you know, and they pull the football away at the last minute. So I'm going to be watching this game and rooting against the Patriots and rooting for your pick, Dodge, but I don't believe it yet.
They are done.
You've just made them stronger. Belichick hears this somehow. I'm going with the Lions in an NFC North game that I think that's a pretty big spread. I'm picking Detroit.
A lot of points at Mini.
Yeah, but it's there's a lot going on with the Lions. They've got a different quarterback under there now, and let's see what he can do. I think it's going to be a gutsy performance from the Lions, and
it's a ton of points, 12.
It is, yeah, for an NFC North matchup. I'm happy with that pick, and I'd like to see the Vikings stumble from here on out as a Packer fan. So
it's a gutsy pick. I like it. It's a contrarian pick. You're against the public, and I like that. I think that is a lot of points.
But
it's a lot of points.
All right, I'm taking the. This could be the trap game of the week. But you know what? I've tried to be sharp about some of these games, and I've gotten screwed. So I'm going Seattle's at the Rams, laying half a point, and it's so juicy that I'm sure there'll be a lot of public money on this. But the public's been doing all right this year, so I'm tired. I'm just going to take the obvious play here. Seattle looks great. I know the Rams are. Richard will say they're in desperation mode.
Desperation mode.
But Seattle's got a lot to play for, too. They can still win the division, and they just look, they're just Russell Wilson is
great.
Unbelievable.
I'll take him over Goff in a half point.
And there'll probably be more, you know the way things go in L.A., there'll probably be more Seattle fans there. And I just, I can't pass up on this one. The Rams, they killed me a couple weeks ago as a sharp play. And you know what? I'm not falling for it again. Give me Seattle.
Show them who's boss.
It's the same, right? It's like a repeat of that game, right, against Baltimore, where all the public was on Baltimore and all the sharps were on the Rams, and the Rams got crushed. And it's just the
Everybody
same
at the bar was
situation.
saying, "Oh, how would you take the Rams? The Baltimore's free money." I wanted to.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Throw a pint at somebody.
Sometimes the general public is right.
And they love to let you know about it.
Of course.
All right, for my third pick, they're bringing Minshew back.
Yes.
Gardner Minshew, because Nick Foles has been terrible. He's been terrible. And how much money is he getting paid?
Put him on the Eagles. He'll turn into Superman.
Philadelphia legend.
Philadelphia only. He was tanking for us. He wants to come back.
He just looks so bad.
He looks so bad. And the thing is, Minshew was solid. They were good. That game before the London game, they basically said Foles is healthy, and this game will determine whether Minshew keeps playing. And he laid an egg in London, and he wasn't prepared. Maybe the travel, whatever it was, he lost the job. But since then, the team looks flat. They look flat.
Brady and Belichick are like,
how
did we lose to this guy in the Super Bowl? He looks so bad.
He looks really bad. So I think Minshew back in is going to energize that team. And they're playing San Diego, who is a team I love betting against, because Rivers looks bad. He looks done. He's throwing a lot of picks. They're in games, but they find ways to lose. And Jacksonville getting 3 points at home, I like it.
Rivers is throwing balls up for grabs. I like this pick.
Well, it's just like Jets fans that kick someone when they're down. The great Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP. But I'm going to do something unconventional here, and I am so down on the Philadelphia Eagles, my team. They just killed me. Absolutely killed me on
Dolphins
Sunday.
are tough. Don't let that upset you.
I had a great Thanksgiving. I mean, I was just high-fiving everybody. Look at the Bills. They crushed Dallas. We're taking over first place, and then they lay an egg, and
at
I
least
just
they weren't
had to
rolling by
hear
2
it.
scores. Oh, they were up 2 scores. In Miami with a comeback win.
Unbelievable. So anyway, I'm going to take the Giants with the 9.5 points.
The return of Eli.
Phoenix.
I mean, I am so down on him. I'm like, I can't even think straight. But I think backdoor cover down to the 9.5 at least. It's a rivalry game, as sad as the rivalry is right now with 2 terrible teams. But my boys, I want them to win, obviously, but I don't think they're going to win by 10. They can't beat anybody by 10.
Poor Eli Manning. They're trotting him out Monday night.
This will go one of 2 ways for Eli.
With an angry Philadelphia mob on hand who's going to be drinking all day long, and they're out for blood. And
Put that Manning statue out there behind
it's
center.
Like the final scene of Braveheart, where they just eviscerate him.
I mean, I'm hoping I'm wrong on this pick, but no, we have no secondary. Just there's so many problems. On the Eagles.
If Eli comes in and picks them apart, you don't want to. The Dons will be bartending Monday night. Oh, and I'd like to point out it's after our staff Christmas party Sunday, so Dodge is going to be tired and cranky. So Carpe, the Eagles,
Giants fans,
can I call out of the shift?
Yeah.
It's going to be really bad.
I am going with the 49ers over the Saints, and frankly, I don't know why, because this is such a good game. This is such a good matchup.
What a great game.
But, yeah, I just feel like the Niners defense is going to come back and just smother the Saints. I'm not really sold on the Saints. They have a phenomenal record, But I really think the Niners are going to overpower.
They've been slipping a little bit. The
And
Saints,
they can lay an
and,
egg
yeah,
like they did against the Falcons. They look like out of sorts.
And the Niners, I mean, could have easily beaten Baltimore. They're arguably the best. Obviously one of the top teams, but arguably the best team in the league.
I had this circled as one of my possible picks. I like this pick, and I like the fact the Niners they played well against Baltimore, and they're staying on the East Coast, and I always like that angle because the team will be kind of away from all distraction all week, and I think they're training in Florida, and then they'll go to New Orleans, and they cut down on the travel. I like this pick.
All right, the moneyline underdog parlay so close last week. I thought we had it. Just like a stupid field goal. These guys miss field goals all year. The guy in Baltimore comes in 48 yards in the rain. I'm like, I feel pretty good to maybe get him in overtime, and the guy drilled it. Of course. But I digress. I'm gonna roll with Baylor to juice it as an 8-point dog to beat Oklahoma. I'm going to take Minshew Madness and Jacksonville. And, I mean, how can you not throw the Chiefs as an underdog in there against the collapsing
very wounded
empire of the New England Patriots? And this pays 20-1. Get it all back and ride out the rest of the season.
That'll put us in the black for the year.
Yeah.
Right? That'll do it. So all we need is one.
Stop throwing dirt on the Patriots, man. Again, you're kicking the hornet's nest.
He's done that a few times
doing
before.
It for a couple of years
it's
now.
Never worked out.
Eventually,
it's got to be right. It's got to be right one time.
100 times undefeated. Eventually, I'm going to be right. And then I don't know if I can say I told you so, but
I've been telling you so.
Clegg's Corner returns, buddy. I'm not going to gloat, but Clegg's Corner's slipping in the NFL's back, baby. Picks from the yard.
Oh, wait a minute. This is you had your first winning week.
Yeah, that's right. And that's it. I got to celebrate. It's been a long time coming, pal.
All right. Well, I might be slipping a little bit too. That might be true.
Football over soccer, but we had a tough week last week, Clegg. 1-2, and I guess the victory was a little.
I just barely avoided being skunked. Leicester scored in the 94th minute.
Whoa.
To win. Yeah, that was not looking like it was going to be a win there. And then I thought maybe the Barca and Atletico Madrid game was going to come in as the draw, but Lionel Messi scored right towards the end.
Messi's pretty good, right?
He is.
First
he just
time
won
I've heard
his,
a guy named Lester scoring. That's pretty good.
That's a team, but it's
Damn
okay.
it.
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I'm into soccer now.
No, Messi just won his 6th Ballon d'Or, the Golden Ball, which is the best player in the world, which is a record.
Wow.
So,
Wait,
yeah.
I thought the other guy, the handsome guy, had that. That's how much I pay attention to soccer.
Messi's pretty
I
handsome.
thought, no,
too.
the
Now
other
we're getting
dude.
into a weird conversation.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
I thought he had the all-time total.
No, they were tied 5-5, and then Messi just won his 6th the other day. So.
I wasn't too far off. There
Get
I go.
up to date
I
on
feel
your
like I
handsome
won that
soccer
argument.
Players,
all right?
Dodge.
Yeah, close enough. And then Southampton won in that other game. That was the 19th place team versus the 20th place team. I thought the draw was a lock, but Southampton,
battle,
they had
huh?
other ideas, Southampton, yeah. So, all right, we got 3 picks again this week, and we're going to start Friday afternoon here, 2:45.
Oh, nice.
Going over to the Italian League, the team that has not failed me so far, Inter Milan.
All right.
I like them to beat Roma. This is going to be a little bit of a tight game. Inter's in first, Roma's in 5th. Inter's a -112 favorite.
Nice. You're not laying a lot of money. I'd say.
No, I like it. I mean, Inter's playing great this year. I think they got a great chance to win this game. So we should start off on the right foot. Then we're going to go to Saturday morning, 9:30, and I'm sorry to do this to you again. I'm back with your least favorite German team to pronounce. Let's say it together. Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Mönchengladbach.
You're not.
Was
you're
that a
right.
good accent?
That is awful.
Yeah.
Is that authentic?
It's close enough for you.
Call them Gladbach. That's what people say for short, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's all I
Yes.
wanted to hear. Gladbach.
Gladbach.
I can do that.
They're in first place, and they're playing against Bayern Munich, who's the perennial favorite in the Bundesliga. And Munich is a heavy favorite in this game, which I don't think is okay. I mean, they're in 5th place. They have not been playing great all
And they're
year.
the favorite?
Right. So I'm actually going for the draw here at a hefty plus 360.
Oh, juicing it up.
Yeah.
Nice payout for a tie.
It is. I mean, there's a lot. I don't know. This game's a little bit crazy to bet, maybe. But Munich's minus 200. I'm not taking that. No way. So, and they're on the road against Mönchengladbach here.
It's odd, but they're almost begging you to not. I mean,
they're begging. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going for the draw. I think this game's got draw written all over it because Gladbach's they're going to want to just draw and hold Munich off for now.
Plus 360. Love it.
Yeah. So then we're going to go Sunday morning back to the English Premier League. I've got another draw here. Newcastle and Southampton, two teams that are just not great, don't have a lot to play for, and tend to draw a lot. So that one's plus 225. The bookmakers are with me on this one.
Another great. I mean, so if we win one of these, we'll be in good shape.
If we win one of those draws, yeah, we'll be in great shape. But I mean, I think I like all three of these.
They're all coming in with Leicester.
All right, here's the parlay for Wayne.
Yes,
because you know I'm not going to bet it. It's 27-1.
Whoa, that is pretty
Bubba's going to double it.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that, but it makes it seem like it could be a little tricky to pull off.
I mean, I'm not going to bet the parlay.
27-1, Clegg. Well, we can clean up here, and then you throw that into the football parlay is 20-1. This could be a big week for us.
Oh boy,
I love it, Clegg. I love it. Soccer people, get involved. Quick recap so you can jot this week's winners down. I'm going to roll with Baylor plus 8, Baltimore minus 5.5, and Seattle minus 0.5. Richard's got Oregon plus 6.5, Indy plus 3, and Jacksonville plus 3. Chris Halleron, Green Bay minus 12.5, Detroit plus 12.5, San Francisco plus 2.5, and Jim Dodge, Tennessee minus 2.5, KC plus 3, and the New York Giants, led by Eli Manning, Monday night at Philly plus 9.5.
A lot of dogs.
3-0.
I love it. A lot of pluses, and hopefully our accounts will be plus.
Yes, I feel good this week. We turned the corner a little late, but better late than never. That's what they say anyway. The moneyline underdog parlay is we have Baylor, Jacksonville, and Kansas City. That will pay a juicy 20-1. And Clegg's Corner, we have Newcastle, Southampton draw plus 225. Mönchengladbach, Munich draw plus 360.
You did it.
Gesundheit.
That's a Bundesliga game, right? Yeah. And Inter Milan to beat Roma minus 112. 27-1 on that parlay. I love it. Soccer. And the Super Parlay, we do this every week just in case, a miracle strikes. We put all 12 teams into the DraftKings app with the points, and that pays a nice $2,300-1. Get involved, people. Anything you want to plug this week? You going to start us off here, Jim Dodge?
I like to plug how many people went 3-0? I want to plug whoever those people are that Rick Collins is paying for drinks. I highly recommend not drinking the night or 2 nights before, and bring your appetites there and just drink as much as you can on Rick's tab.
Yeah,
make sure it hurts him. Yeah. I just want those people to deservingly to go 3-0, and just also put it on Rick.
Show up thirsty.
What's top shelf at Carpe Diem? Can you give some advice on that?
I might bring some stuff in just so they can order it.
Got some nice Oban that'll really
there you
crush them. Chris?
Just check out hmag.com. We've got a lot of information about what's going on in Hoboken, Jersey City. We're celebrating 10 years of reporting in our area, so
it's great.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Congrats, 10 years.
Follow them on Facebook. They provide a lot of information, a lot of good articles, a lot of you do a Sinatra.
Fridays are for Frank.
Fridays are for Frank every week,
Ring
and it's a
ding.
great publication. Love it. HMag. I'm going to promote Nick Giello, one of our semi-regular guests. Dodge talking him up because he's a fellow Eagles fan.
That's right.
Is going to be appearing in a play that opens. Let me see if I got this straight. This Saturday, December 7th, called The Disposal. It's at 64 East 4th Street. Just go to greenlitshowcase.com for all the information. It's called The Disposal, and It looks like is about 8-8. He's got top billing.
He's got top billing. His name's at the top. So
He's a
is he the
star.
big star?
Listen, most Eagle fans are stars in our own right. So he's
Fly,
made it
Eagles,
very
fly.
difficult for me to see, but I'm definitely going to do my best to get there.
I
And,
thought for a
looking
second it
forward
was
to
alphabetical order, but no, it's
You're
not. It's
not?
No,
I
okay.
should've,
So you could be a jerk
I
about it.
should have double checked that, but yeah, it should be great. He's very talented actor. He's a mediocre bartender, but a very good actor. So try to get on out. We try to support the arts here on Picks from the Yard. Go check out the play. All right, just want to thank the guests really quick. My co-host, brother, Richard the Math Whisperer,
Thank you for having me.
Jim Dodge.
Thank you. I'll be 3-0. You can thank me next week.
Go on into Carpe Diem Monday night and watch the Giants beat. You won't see anger like this on
I don't even want to think
you can't
about
capture this kind of anger
I will
when
be-
Eli Manning beats the Eagles
it.
Monday
Maybe
night.
I might just walk out of the bar.
And Chris Halleron, Green Bay fan. You actually grew up. I was asking this before we went on. You're from where'd you grow up?
I grew up at Syracuse.
Syracuse,
Yeah.
and you were saying that they picked different. Different.
Yeah, there's like a vortex there between the Bills and the Giants. They sort of rip everything apart, and you get to, you're in this netherworld where you get to pick your own team. So I grew up a Packer fan.
Oh man, that's
The
such a
Great
good
Lakes
choice.
connection, the snow, the shovels,
I wish I grew up
beer.
in the Netherlands where I could have picked somebody.
exactly.
other-
Wouldn't that have been nice?
regions.
Oh, it would have been
The far-flung-
amazing. You can good call there. The Packers. Watch out for them. They might be actually throw a little money on
Go
them to
Pack,
win it
go.
all.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
Sneak
We'll see.
in under the radar. But thanks a lot for coming out, guys. And I feel good this week. We turned the corner, so let's keep it going. And just everybody throw some money in there and watch the games on Saturday too. College football is going to be awesome this week, and get involved. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe. We're on Apple, Android, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also subscribe at our website, picksfromtheyard.com. Visit the website for all of our archived and bonus episodes and more content. For comments, criticisms, and challenges to Wayne, email us at pftypod@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're at PFTYPod on social media. Remember, gambling on sports is entertainment. Please don't overdo it. If you or someone you know is in over their head, call 800-GAMBLER for help. The Picks from the Yard podcast is produced by Van Vorst Films in Hoboken, New Jersey. Our music is Anticipation by the Gefkins. Check them out on Spotify. We'll be back next week. Get involved.